The floor is yours.
Yeah. Hi everyone. Can y'all can y'all hear me?
Yes,
Yes.
I can hear you.
Thanks for you guys for coming. I think we're getting a little bit slow start here, but I was wondering if we could go around and if you guys could introduce yourselves, those of you that are here, and let us know your names and how long you've been married and if you've been on a cruise before. If you want to maybe start with Yvette.
Come on, Yvette. You were the first one here. You're the first on the spot.
Can you hear me?
Yeah.
Yes, I have been on a cruise before, and I've been married for 26 years.
Nice.
Congratulations. Awesome.
Very cool.
Yeah.
Okay, who's next? How about Rosa?
Hi, it's Rosa and my husband Fidel's coming back upstairs. We have been on cruises before, but never on Carnival yet. So we're excited, and we will be married 33 years
Wow.
in next month.
Hey,
Congrats.
congratulations.
Thank you.
Yeah, I gave you a little bit of the Lido deck music to kind of put you in the mode before we began here.
That was awesome. What about Sean?
Oh, hi there. I am Sean Carney, and I'm married to Jesse Carney, who's also on the call. And we've been married almost a quarter century. Be a quarter century come June 20th. Um, and this is our second Carnival cruise. This will be our second Carnival cruise.
Awesome.
Good call. And then Carolyn.
Yes. Good evening. Uh, my husband's around here somewhere. We have been on together one cruise. I've been on a couple of cruises prior, and in December we'll have been married 40 years.
Wow.
Wow.
Married as very young children. So
Yes, I get that. Then what about Monica?
Hello, I'm Monica Malara, and we have been married for 14 years. It's going to be 14.
Very cool.
Congrats. I gotta say,
Thank you.
I'm very impressed with everyone's muting and unmuting skills on Zoom. Apparently, we're all very good at this now.
Well,
we are.
I'm Cindy and this is Eric, and we've been married how many years? 40?
Not yet. 39.
39? I've personally been on 14 Carnival cruises. You've been on 10.
This many. 10.
10 Carnival cruises. Yeah.
Yeah. So
So we like Carnival.
yeah, we do. It's fun.
We became travel agents just very recently in January. So we're very excited to be partnering with Dr. Jennifer Conzen to be doing this marriage retreat, and the mayor of Funville through here, who is helping us through this process. And it's going to be a lot of fun. So I'd like to turn it over to Jennifer and have her share a little bit about the marriage retreat portion of our cruise. If that's okay, Jennifer, are you ready for that?
Hey, yes. Well, I get the joy of doing marriage retreats all over the world, but I haven't gotten the joy of doing one a while. We're floating and moving from one part of the world to the other. So this will be very fun. There are 3 different at sea days, and during those at sea days in the morning, we'll have 2-hour chunks on each of those days. So we're not going to take up your whole day. We're going to do a 2-hour. This is basically when groups call me and ask me to do marriage retreats. This is the material for that I usually recommend for a marriage retreat. These 3 2-hour chunks. The first 2-hour chunk is on overall communication, so validation. And we will each chunk. I'm not just going to teach, we're going to practice. I'm going to do some teaching and then we're going to practice. I'm going to do some teaching and we're going to practice. So it's very hands-on. That was fun to see Jessie there. And so then the second chunk on the second at sea day, which is also a 2-hour chunk, that will be on overall marital intimacy. So we'll talk about touch and affection, and we'll talk about dating, and we'll talk about things like going on cruises together, like how to really enhance your friendship and your intimacy in other areas. And then the third at sea day, we'll do another 2-hour chunk. Again, it's teach, practice it, teach, practice it. Now, the third day is on sexual intimacy, and we're not going to practice anything. Like you might be thinking, people ask me all the time, you're a sex therapist, what do they do in your office? And I'm like, they don't do anything in my office. Everything is at home. In my office is G-rated, and at home is X-rated. It's verbally X-rated, but it's physically G-rated. But we'll have some fun doing some other exercises that are communication exercises about sexuality on the third at sea day. Again, the 2-hour chunk, teach, practice, teach, practice. It's very fun. And it's also very interactive between your new partner. You don't have to get up and tell everybody your stuff. So yeah, that's what it looks like.
That's fun.
Yeah.
Awesome.
And actually, yeah, Cindy and Eric you took one of the classes I did a long time ago, I think.
Mm-hmm.
And
yeah.
so
Definitely remember that communicating.
Yes, so they've gotten
making that. Yeah, I learned a lot from that.
Yeah.
You just took one of the questions I was going to ask you guys. I was going to say, how did you guys connect? And now, boom, now I know.
There you go.
I love it. I'm a little bit jealous. My wife and I have been married. She's Australian. I've been working for Carnival Cruise Line for 25 years, and Carnival Corporation, I should say. And I met my wife when I was working on board ships. I used to be an assistant cruise director. She was a dancer, and we've been married almost 20 years now. But yeah, I know. We got married when I was 4, right? No, but it's just part of me is like, wow, this would be really cool because I know what the Carnival ship is like. I know what the experience is like, but to hear what you're saying is not only intriguing, but it just sounds beneficial.
Well, why don't you join us?
I'm all in. Yeah, look, if I can pull it off, you got to get we got 2 kids. Someone got to figure out the kids. But my
called Camp Carnival.
My in-laws are in Australia. Well, Camp Carnival's one thing, but we need a break from the kids.
Right.
Yeah, believe me,
you
it's
do.
back in my mind.
And I forgot to say, like, one of the things with this, and I really appreciate, Drew, what you were just saying, is that not only is what Cindy and Eric have put together going to be fun, but the fact that you get to work on your marriage while you're having fun, the work. So I didn't even say what I am. So I'm a licensed marriage and family therapist. I'm a certified sex therapist. So this is the work that I do today. This is my office, and I see people virtually, and I saw clients all day long. So this is what I do as a living. And then I'm the author of The Art of Intimate Marriage, which is some of the work that we're going to be doing is going to be from that book. In fact, if people sign up, correct, Cindy, for the cruise, they get a free copy of. Yes.
Yep.
And
everyone that hears tonight is going to be entered into a drawing to tell them about the deck cards.
Oh, yes. So I ran a research study, and I couples through sex therapy, measured them before and after, and that's been published, which is nice. But in that process of creating that research, I needed to find ways to help couples to communicate more about sexuality. And it's actually kind of hard to find good decks out there to communicate that are clean. So I created 5 decks, and they're called the Intimate Marriage Cards. And yeah, somebody today is going to get a free set of cards.
So they're like questions that you ask, or
yeah. The first 2, there's 5 decks. The first 2 decks are on your overall marriage. So they are on, let me say it this way, they're on connecting and building in verbal and emotional intimacy in your overall marriage. So yep, you pick a card, you answer it, the other person reflects. Then the spouse picks a card, answers it, and reflects. So it's a communication exercise. The third deck is on touch and affection. Actually, most couples don't talk about touch and affection. And so the third deck is on that. And then the fourth and fifth deck are very explicit cards on sexuality. And whenever I sell them at conferences, it's so funny because all the couples are standing around giggling and laughing, practicing the cards. So yeah, they're explicit but helpful.
Awesome. Someone will be a lucky winner.
Love it. Yeah. How are you going to do that? Are you going to randomly draw someone from the emails and then you can just let them know they won?
Yep.
Love it. Cool. See, pays off for tuning in. Well done.
Yeah. All right. Well, now, Drew, what do you have? What can you tell us about the panorama and what's exciting about that?
Oh, I would love to. And if anyone's got questions or comments, the chat feature is open on Zoom. So if you had a question about something about the ship, or feel free to jump in and interrupt me if you wanted to ask something specifically about the Carnival cruise experience. I know some of the viewers have been on cruises, whether they're Carnival or not. That's awesome that you've been involved in the cruise world. There's a lot of variety on Carnival, especially Panorama. And Panorama is still my favorite ship, maybe partially because it's right here in my backyard. I'm down in San Diego, and I'm up on Panorama all the time. The reason why I love this ship is because of the variety. There's a lot of inclusions on the ship, and then there are some things that if you want to elevate your experience, you can pay for. But the variety of cuisine is one of my favorites about this ship, whether it's casual dining by the pool or casual dining in what we call our Lido Marketplace, the main room dining for breakfast, lunch, and dinner. I mean, the menu, the culinary experience is second to none, and it's a part of your cruise fare, which is why I love Panorama, because it's 7 days isn't enough to really try out every culinary experience on the ship. You would have to eat multiple times throughout the day to see it all and to try it all. So that's one of the biggest perks of this ship, is having that variety in the culinary experience. Then, of course, for me, the entertainment element on this ship, and partially maybe because that was my background when I worked on ships, but when I was working on ships, we didn't have some of the cool features that we have now. My wife was a dancer on the ships, and she was just a dancer. But what we do now on some of the production shows and performances that we do in the show lounges, when you're moving from port to port or on these sea days going to Puerto Vallarta, Mazatlan, and Cabo, there's a lot going on the ship. And some of the most popular experiences are these production shows. We call them playlist productions. So my wife was just a dancer. And I say it like just a dancer. Glad she's not in my room here hearing me. An amazing dancer is what she was and still is.
Good recovery.
Yeah, good recovery. Thank you. And she didn't even hear that, so it was a good practice. But what we deliver now on the ships are triple threats. So the performers are actors and singers. So every vocal you hear from the stage is the performer. And these would be just like shows you would find in Vegas or on Broadway, but they're included in your cruise experience. So, after your workshops, you've got the pool area, or you've got some of the features of the ship where we've got the comedy clubs, the production shows, we've got throughout the day, the bingos, the casinos, and some of the other activities throughout the ship that are happening with what we call our fun squad, keeping people engaged, keeping people fun. This is all a part of your cruise experience, which is why this ship is one of my faves. It's just got an overload of activities, an overload of variety of culinary. The rooms, incredible. The decor, the space, the overall look of the rooms is in my opinion, the layout of this ship is just ideal. Whether you're in an interior room that has no window, some people like that afternoon nap where they can turn off the lights and it's black. The interior rooms are very spacious. The balconies are the way to go, in my opinion, because you have that fresh air you can walk out onto. And every time you look out your balcony, it's a different scene, right? So you're going to have a different port of call 3 of the days of your cruise. And then when the sun sets or when the sun rises, you just simply walk outside into your balcony and you've got a new view every day, every minute. So Overall, yeah, this ship is convenient for us on the West Coast. I think I called out where it's going if you don't know yet what the itinerary is. It's Panorama leaves every Saturday, and the first 2 days are at sea, and the ship is heading south to Puerto Vallarta, which is my favorite port of call for the West Coast, I should say. And you do a full day in Puerto Vallarta, which would be Monday. Let me see, Sunday. Yeah, so no, wait, so it would be Tuesday, actually. I'm lying there. So Tuesday, you're in Puerto Vallarta. Wednesday, you're in Mazatlan. And Thursday, you're in Cabo San Lucas. And then that Friday is a final sea day before the ship arrives in Long Beach on Saturday morning. So it's a nice, well-rounded 7-day cruise. And if you've not done that destination before, there's a lot of variety as far as things to do when you're off the ship, whether you want to flop and sit on a beach, or you can even do camel rides in Cabo, or you can go off and see the rainforest in Cabo. There's a variety of options to do off the ship. And that's where you'll pay, right? So that's not a part of your cruise experience. So some people who have not been on a cruise, there's a lot of inclusions, like some of the culinary experiences and some of the entertainment experiences I was telling you about. And of course, the room is included. And because you're booking with Dream Vacations and this particular group has the doc on doing the workshops, that can only be done through Cindy and Dream Vacations. So this unique exclusive feel is just for those who are booking into it. And I think if you are unfamiliar with the cruise, you're going to get a little bit of an extra bonus by being a part of this. But as I was saying, the shore excursions are what you do off the ship. That's where there'll be an extra charge if you wanted to do something extra when you got off the ship in each of these ports. It's not mandatory. Some people walk around and just enjoy the local culture, which is totally cool there as well and totally safe. The Mexican Riviera is a great place to visit if you've not seen it so far. So that's kind of my sum of kind of what the cruise experience is about. And feel free to shoot any questions or comments in the chat, or just unmute yourself if you wanted to ask anything particular about questions about cabins, questions about some of the onboard experiences. Hey, if you want to know my favorite restaurant, happy to tell you that as well. So if you have anything you want to share or ask, feel free to just chime on in. But that's what I've got as far as a summary there, Cindy.
Thank you. Awesome. Does anyone have any questions for Drew?
Hey, Drew. My name is Fidel.
Hey,
I'm
Fidel.
Rosa's husband. I was downstairs, so I missed a little bit of the beginning. Just I agree with what you said, Drew. Mexican Riviera. I know I've shared with Sean and Carolyn and Dave and Jesse that we just love the Mexican Riviera. It's great. We've cruised with Princess many times down to that destination, and this will be our first one on Carnival. We're excited. And Jennifer, I know we've gone through one of your classes you gave down at Liberty Station.
Amazing.
A couple of years ago, and great time, and we're looking forward again. So we're trying to get as many people to join us as I shared with Cindy, and we're just excited.
So did you have a question, my love, for Drew?
So yeah, the question, Drew, is I was going to ask, we were looking at the part where the adults go.
Serenity Deck.
Serenity Deck.
See, I forgot to mention that part. See, there's so much to talk about on this.
Yeah, the Serenity Deck, is there a fee to go there, or is it open for just as long as you're over the age of 18, or how does that work?
Great question. And I love that you've sailed with Princess because, in the beginning I said I've been with Carnival Corporation 25 years. Mm-hmm. I worked on board Princess ships before I went over to Carnival. So that's where I met my wife when we were working on Princess ships. Oh, and they've got something called the Sanctuary, if I remember correctly.
Yes, that is
correct. That has a charge, but our Serenity Deck does not.
Yay!
Perfect.
Yeah, there's no charge for Serenity Deck on Deck 15 on Panorama. You've got those really nice clamshells, or those dual domes that couples can sit on, like those lounge chairs. There's some hammocks. There's a nice little bar up there, and there's also on sea days this cool little. It's called Fresh Creations, and it's like a salad bar, and you can make your own salad just as a little light snack while you're up there. It's 18 and over to get into the Serenity. We do have deck attendants up there monitoring that. It generally doesn't. The thing about Panorama is there's so much going on throughout the cruise. I never find Serenity overwhelming. It seems to be spaced out because some people want to be at the Lido deck and they want to be dancing around the pool and doing the conga line and the limbo and everything else that we do as cruise directors when I was working on ship. And then people just enjoy getting away from that and reading a book or enjoying a little bit of me time or putting their headphones on. So yeah, I find that the no charge, the exclusivity, and it's more of a quiet feel up there, and there's definitely no kids, makes a big impact to a selling feature for Serenity Deck. So to answer your question in a long-winded version, no charge, very peaceful. It is literally a retreat. Also, wait, I see Sean says, are drinks included on the chat? So Sean, not that. So when you book a cruise, lemonade, we have these juice dispensers in a lot of the casual dining areas where if you wanted orange juice in the morning, it's orange juice or it's this nice tropical mango juice. Regular coffee, not specialty coffee, that's included. So some of the non-alcoholic juices and coffees are included. If you wanted a cocktail or if you wanted a soda, those are additional charges. And some people choose to buy a soda plan, which we've got something called Bottomless Bubbles, where you can pay a per day. It's in the $8 range per day for unlimited soda. Then we also have a drink package. Like if you wanted to have an adult drink package, there's something called Cheers, and that's $59.95 per person per day if you purchase it in advance. And that's $59.95 per person per day plus an 18% gratuity. But that's pretty much, you're going to have unlimited non-alcoholic. So if you wanted specialty coffees, if you wanted bottles of water, if you wanted to have Rockstar energy drinks, those are unlimited. And then for cocktails, you would be able to have 15 different cocktails throughout a 24-hour period, up to $20 a drink. So that's a very rich program if you wanted to really make it a don't worry about drinks anywhere along the lines for 7 days. So that's called Cheers, and Cindy could help you out with that. Let's see, anything else in here? Thank you, Jennifer. She's got the dates, cruise dates in there. Anyone else got a question? That was a great question, by the way, about Serenity. Thank you for that.
Hi, this is Christine. Can you hear me?
We hear you.
Sorry, we're having technical difficulties, but my husband has a green card and he's curious about traveling with that without a passport. He doesn't have I guess, up-to-date passport. It's a Philippines passport. Are we allowed to travel? He could stay on the ship and just not go on excursions. Is that an option?
So he has a green card. So the green card's valid, right? But the
Correct.
passport's expired?
Correct.
That is one that, Cindy, we might have to follow up with Christine on that. I have to dig deep into my intranet.
Okay.
Can we follow up with you on that one? Because I'm going to send a message to my buddy on that one, because my wife she just became a citizen actually recently. So she's now dual citizen, Australian and United States. But when she was on green card and we did a cruise, this was with son number 1 before 2 came around, she did need the valid passport along with the green card. So Cindy and I will get back to you on what you should do specifically in order to get on that. I would essentially, if there's a way, you said Philippines. I don't know what the timeline is for renewing a passport for Philippines these days, but is getting it renewed too time consuming? I mean, we've got until October, right?
Yeah, I think the consulate is in LA. It wouldn't be that bad, but just one more step of preparing.
Yeah.
More expensive.
But we'll still follow up with you. I want to make
Okay.
sure that you need that because it's always changing these days, and it actually sometimes gets a little bit more difficult these days. But Yeah,
Okay.
good question to bring up now because there's time to get up to LA if you need to, but we'll follow up with you on that. We can get her email, right, Sydney?
Yeah, I have your email, Christine,
Perfect.
from
Thank
your
you, guys.
registration. Yeah,
Okay. Thank you.
good question.
Yeah, it is because that's a detailed one that I'd rather make sure we get you the exact right answers. And um, chances are, from my experience, you're probably going to want to get the passport renewed, the Philippines passport. That's the easier way to go. Like Yvette just put in here, she just went on a cruise and we had to have a passport. That depends on the cruise. So that's a good comment that you put in there. For U.S. citizens, when it's a sailing that is round trip from, let's say, Long Beach, like this cruise is, you technically can get on the ship with a birth certificate and a driver's license if it's all valid, the driver's license, but that's only for a U.S. citizen. So for someone that's a green card holder, passport hands down is the way to go. So that's why Cindy, we will not Cindy, sorry, Christine.
That's okay. Yeah, we've heard different things, like if we would just stay on the ship because it's an American-owned ship, it's docking from American ports, and we just.
It's that's actually not true, that one. So
Thank you.
customs and border protection. I mean, once you step on a ship, it's
Mm-hmm.
federal ground and everything is customs and border protection.
Okay.
And in California, I'm going to use this as an example, but in California, marijuana is legal, right? So people try to bring marijuana on our ships and don't realize that they're walking onto federal ground and they get confiscated. Sometimes they have to go speak to the law officials because of this, and people don't realize that because generally they're not looking through a travel agent like Cindy. But when you get on the ship, it is federal ground. And if you've got to clear customs and border protection before the ship leaves, they get a manifest of everybody. If there's any red flags, they could put that person as a person of interest, and then they have questions for that person later. So they could say, before we even board you, someone that has a green card with a non-valid passport, you cannot even get on the ship. So that's why I want to follow up with you and get you the exact answer in your case, being a Filipino citizen with a green card here. We'll
Okay.
get back to that.
No problem. Okay. Enough said. Thank you.
And everybody should check their passports while we're thinking about that to make sure they're valid.
Yeah, your expiration date needs to be 6 months past the date we returned, correct?
Yeah.
That's it.
Yeah,
Yes,
so
correct.
double check your passport dates.
Because everybody, if you need a new passport, you've got plenty of time. You won't even have to expedite it.
Yeah.
But if you, yeah.
And Drew, just to that last question, I retired as an ICE federal agent, and it is true, right? You need a green. If you have a green card, the passport has to be valid from the country of birth to travel on a cruise ship. As to your point, it is federal. You're basically stepping on federal land,
Right.
and Customs and Border Protection. Then they take charge. And it used to be way back in the day that because it's a closed loop cruise, that the birth certificate would do, but they stopped that, and it has to have if it's a U.S. citizen, it has to be a U.S. passport, and if it's a legal permanent resident, right, it would have to be the passport of the country of that person's birth.
Right.
Has to be valid, and the legal permanent resident card has to be valid. So.
Yeah, so Christine, chances are we're gonna have to get that passport for Philippines renewed, but I'm gonna get Cindy the exact verbiage for what needs to happen, and then we'll circle back with you in an email. But thanks, Fidel. That's former ICE, huh?
That is correct. I retired in May of 2020.
Congrats! You're retired and living the dream now. Awesome.
Yeah. Very nice. Okay. Any other questions?
Nothing in chat. Quiet. We got crickets. Okay, so well done.
All right. Well, I just wanted to say a special thank you to Drew and for Jennifer for being here and helping host this and are running the show basically. And also to Rosa and Fidel for being our Pied Piper and going out and spreading the word about this marriage retreat. We need a lot of help spreading the word. Just marketing this idea. It's kind of a new idea for a marriage retreat on a cruise ship, but I think it's going to be a lot of fun. We even though it's not until October, we really need to get the rooms booked by the middle of May, if possible, as many rooms as possible. And so, you guys, anyone that you think might be interested, please have them contact me for details. It's going to be a lot of fun. We're planning on going. So, yeah. Anyway, that's about all we got, right?
Yeah. I mean, if you think about it, doing a marriage retreat on a cruise ship is just it's a great idea. I mean, it's a great venue. You get to go, we deliberately picked this itinerary because it had some sea days, so Jennifer could teach. But we also had you're going to some great ports. I don't know, I don't remember who said how great the Mexican Riviera is. It is. It's a really great set of ports and stuff, and it'll be so much fun. And you'll get to you know you know work on your marriage and actually have your relationships go deeper and stuff like that. And yeah, you're gonna have a great time. You're gonna have a lot of fun. So why not strengthen our marriages and have fun at the same time? I don't know. Seems like a good idea to me.
I love your thinking. You hit the nail right on the head. And I mean, we are fun. Carnival, we are. I mean, look, I mean,
you are.
And we are seeing that a lot of the rooms are actually filling up really quickly, surprisingly, with it being all the way up in October. But so the sooner
yeah,
the better.
I would say if you're on the fence or if you have friends on the fence, this is me speaking at a very, very high level because when I do the meetings in the office, we talk about how we're doing as a company as far as inventory goes. The 2023 inventory is filling up really, really quick. Like we've got people booking all the way through April of 25 right now. So, the last couple of years, people feel like they need revenge travel now or something, and they're actually planning a lot ahead, and more people are doing it earlier than before. So you're finding this sailing is gonna fill up very, very, very quick. I wouldn't wait too long. And Yvette says, at least from Long Beach, I think that's a question. So if you're familiar or unfamiliar with the LA area where the port is, there's San Pedro and then there's Long Beach, literally right next to the Queen Mary. That's where the Carnival ships leave from. So make sure if you're Ubering or getting a ride share over there, you're not going to San Pedro. You would be going to Long Beach, which personally is nicer. the cruise terminal is nicer. The whole experience when you sail away is nicer. So Long Beach is where this will leave from. I think we got everything.
Okay.
All right. I did record this, so if there's anybody that that wants to wasn't able to come, let me know. I can share this with them. So.
And Cindy, I will. I'm holding off on dinner because I'm going to get you the exact terms for Christine as far as what's required for a green card, permanent resident to cruise from a closed loop sailing per Carnival's intranet.
Okay. Thanks, Drew.
I'll get that to you right when we hang up.
Okay. Thank you so much. Okay. Thanks, everybody.
Have a great night, everyone.
Yeah. Thank you, Home Trips. This is an amazing thing that you guys organized.
Appreciate you. Thank you.
Bye-bye.
Bye.
Thank you, Drew. Bye-bye, guys.